Welcome to my virtual classroom.
Good day, teachers. Good day, everyone, and welcome to Ma'am Z's virtual classroom. This is episode 7 of my vlog, and this is devoted to the discussion of accommodation versus modification. Both of these strategies were already discussed in episode 4, but this time let us thoroughly discuss these two inclusive strategies. While both strategies occurs in the general education or tier 1, these are used differently. Accommodation changes how the students will learn or access the materials, while modification changes what to access, specifically changes the content of the material. This means that in accommodation, the curriculum learning expectations and outcomes are the same as compared to those typical students. This is also true with assessment. However, in modification, the curriculum outcomes and expectations and also the grading is different as compared to those with typical needs. So accommodation means helping students access the same materials as their peers. An example to this is this actual video. So if a person has hearing impairment, then he or she can still access and learn from this material because of its subtitles. The same as hearing and seeing individuals who can listen to my actual video. This means that seeing and hearing individuals can access this material the same way as the deaf and the blind can also understand this material. Examples of accommodation include using large print materials, allowing the use of technology such as computers when they are taking an examination, giving of breaks, giving of additional time to finish an examination or an activity in the class, use of assistive technology, preferential seating, and giving instructional materials ahead of time before an actual lecture. In the university, sports, dance, recreational activities are taught to those with blindness or those blind students in their physical education subject with the use of tactile and audio strategies. Now let's move to modification. Modification is a strategy used to help a student with significant learning needs to experience the same curriculum with his or her peers. This means that they may not learn the same content as their peers. And so modification examples include reducing the number of assignments, assigning different reading material, reducing the complexity of activity, giving of more cues and prompts, and of course changing the scoring rubrics or grading scale. In my class, I only use accommodation, and you should know by now the reason behind. I allow students to revise their worksheets. I also allow the revision of projects since we begin the development of a project since week 1. This means that I provide assessments weekly and I give instructions and comments or suggestions to improve their work. I also give extended deadlines to working students provided that they tell me ahead of time that they will not or probably meet the deadline. In learning during this emergency remote teaching, my class also begins with independent study and then small group discussion and our synchronous large group discussion. We also share 2 Padlet accounts. One is for dossier of special and inclusive education reference materials. This will be added readings if they might need help in understanding the material. And we also have Freedom Wall for comments, suggestions for the betterment of this term. You may probably think that providing inclusive strategies such as accommodation, modification, UDL, and DI eat a lot of time, ability, and effort, most especially at the teacher's end. Say, for example, in my case, I would provide weekly assessments to all of my students, let it be in the graduate or in the undergraduate students or level. But if you believe that our students deserve to have a quality education, even during this emergency remote teaching, then we can make it happen. Thank you for watching, and let us be a blessing to one another.